unity. We are brothers and sisters, we've lived together for years now. Say no to violence now. Sing it with me. Peace, peace, peace. Let's all embrace peace. We are brothers and sisters, we've lived together for years now. Say no to violence now. No religion preaches violence. We need understanding and tolerance. You can be you, I can be me. That's the way it should be. Say no to violence now. Sing it one more time. Peace, peace, peace. Let's all embrace peace. In the family, in schools, at work, everywhere. Say no to violence now.
The Nigerian government wants you to be...
A very good afternoon to you, and thanks for joining us on Nationwide. My name is Isaac Nkuma, and it's good to be with you again. Justice Adeniyi Ademola of the Federal High Court, Abuja, has ordered the Nigerian police and the Directorate of State Security to produce the prime suspect in the Nyanya bombing before the court by November 10th, when it reconvenes. He gave the order on Friday after trial of Aminu Oguche was stalled due to his non-appearance in court. Judiciary correspondent Femi Okeowo reports. That report will be brought to you in this bulletin as we go on.
Tourism needs at this time is for agencies of government to be working seemingly at cross purposes. Justice Adeniyi Ademola is just not impressed that over a month after he gave the last order, Aminu Oguche is yet to be produced in court. Just after Nigerians rose to give its security agencies due credit for finding out the alleged brains behind the April Nyanya bombing, it was discovered that Aminu Sadiq Oguche, the brain behind the act, had fled the country to Sudan. Through diplomatic, security, and Interpol synergy, Aminu Oguche was ferried back to Nigeria in July, even though the charges against him were filed on the 16th of May. As a way of helping investigations to be concluded, the Federal High Court Abuja ordered the SSS to detain the suspect for 90 days for the regularization of all processes and the commencement of trial. But when the matter came up for arraignment on Friday, the police counsel, DSP Oloye Turubene, told the court that Aminu Oguche could not be brought before the court because the charge was not ready. Counsel to the State Security Service, Phil Osage, said that rather than take the charge to the Inspector General, as the police did, it was to have been taken to the Attorney General of the Federation, being the prosecuting authority for terrorism crimes.
Certain procedures have to be followed because of national security.
So what procedure would have to be followed for the accused to be brought before the court?
The accused will be brought.
The case will now be heard on the 10th of November, when Aminu Oguche is expected to be arraigned. The four suspects, led by Kelvin Oniora Osegbe, who allegedly kidnapped the senior advocate of Nigeria, Mike Ozokeme, and Professor Hope Egaga, were also arraigned before Justice Adeniyi Ademola on a 14-count charge. Trial continues in that matter on the 13th of October. In Abuja, Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
Away from the judiciary, the Niger Delta Ministry has assured that construction of the 338-kilometer east-west road will be completed at the end of the year. The minister, Steve Oru, gave the assurance while interacting with the House Committee on Niger Delta in Abuja. National Assembly correspondent Aisha Tuzango Abdullahi has the details.
The meeting was at the instance of the House Committee on Niger Delta Affairs.
We got few conflicting figures from the ministry, how much they've paid out to contractors, and I think that they should reconcile their figures.
Briefing the members on the progress of work so far on the east-west road within the Niger Delta region, the minister described it as its flagship project. Mr. Oru says The ministry is not only determined to deliver the road by the end of 2014, but quality roads that will stand the test of time.
The problems we are facing on the East-West Road, it has to do with a very difficult terrain. Roads which would have been constructed in a shorter period, a certain part of this country, take a longer period in the Niger Delta area.
Contractors took turn to brief the committee on the project they are handling. While the committee commended others for a job well done, some were asked to intensify efforts at delivering on schedule. From the National Assembly, Aishatu Zango Abdullahi, NTA News.
And the House of Representatives has mandated its Committee on Population and National Planning to investigate what it described as ineffective management of Nigeria's population and recommend strategies to address the situation. National Assembly correspondent Aishatu Zango Abdullahi again reports on this and other legislative engagements in the House of Representatives.
Debating the motion on the ineffective management of Nigeria's population, moved by Representative Benny La and 15 others, the members expressed the urgent need to address the pertinent issues of education, hunger, disease, unemployment, housing, illiteracy, and insecurity in the country in order to turn the population from a liability to a veritable asset.
Policymakers must develop an information-based approach for national planning.
The conference report on a bill for an act to provide a framework for the regulation, development, and management of a national health system and set standards for rendering health services in the Federation, sponsored by Representative Undudi, was also adopted. Rising on a matter of urgent public importance, the Deputy House Leader Liogo drew the attention of the House to the heavy rain which submerged some parts of his constituency, Isoko North and Isoko South Federal Constituency.
The main demand here, Mr. Speaker, is for the immediate intervention of NEMA, for the relocation of these people and be able to provide them some level of succor.
Similarly, Representative Ali Madaki from Kano brought to the attention of the House what he described as incessant activities of armed robbers on Abuja-Kano Highway.
The Inspector General of Police and the Army Command to mobilize enough officers and men to carry out patrol and surveillance operation on the Abuja-Kano road.
The House later dissolved into the Committee of the Whole to consider reports by some standing committees, including that on a bill for an act to establish the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, provide for the engagement of Nigerians in diaspora policies, and for other matters. A political scenario that unfolded this Thursday on the floor of the House was the formal announcement by Representative Atiku Madaki from Niger State of his defection from the All Progressive People's Congress APC to the People's Democratic Party PDP. From the National Assembly, Aishatu Zango Abdullahi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the House Committee on Information and National Orientation wants the National Film and Video Censors Board to come up with a proposal to the National Assembly to strengthen its statutory powers to censor films, checkmate piracy, and internet pornography. National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports that the committee visited some parastatals under the Federal Ministry of Information in continuation of its oversight visits.
The committee's visit to the National Film and Video Censors Board revealed the necessity for a review of the laws establishing the board to enable it combat the challenges of piracy and internet pornography adequately.
We feel there are amendments that are quite germane for them to perform optimally. And so if they make proposals, of course, the committee will be pleased to push and then make the necessary amendment for them.
The parastatals, including Advertisement Practitioners Council of Nigeria, APCON, Nigerian Press Council, NPC, National Film Corporation, NFC, and the National Orientation Agency, NOAA, complain of inadequate funding amongst other challenges as major setback.
The status that established us should place us properly within the structure of government and governance. so that we can, discharge our mandate effectively, creditably.
The only way I can do my job and for APCON to execute this mandate is we must have equipment not only monitor, but to log and to archive.
The chairman of the committee, Omar Buba Jibril, appealed to the Federal Ministry of Finance to release funds to the parastatals as appropriated by the National Assembly to enhance improvement in the implementation of their budgets before the end of third quarter of 2014. In Abuja, Kenneth Nanim, NTN.
The Radio, Television and Theatre Arts Workers Union, RATAW, has visited the Chairman Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Enyinnaya Abaribe, with a view to proffering solutions to various challenges in the media sector, including the deadline for digitization, license fees and funding. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adegunloye reports.
President of the Radio, Television, Theatre and Arts Workers Union, Comrade Yemisi Bambushe, said that for media organizations to realize their fullest potential, there needs to be an increase in budgetary allocations.
In the last 8 years, the budgetary allocation has been dwindling, falling down. And that is why we are pleading that whatever you can do to assist us in this regard too, we will surely appreciate it, sir.
The RATAW president also called for a review of the laws governing radio and TV license fees, as well as funding of the digitalization project in order to meet the deadline. He appealed for an upward review of media workers' salaries and insurance cover for staff. Chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Enyinnaya Abaribe, noted that the issue of license fees review has to go through proper procedures in accordance with the Constitution, and meeting the digitalization deadline is on course.
The process of digitization is that it's not going to be something that is entirely out of our range to do. The question of funding and the creation of a law, as soon as they are ready with that, you can be very certain that this committee will do the needful.
On insurance, the chairman said all public sector workers are covered under PENCOM, and he enjoined all law enforcement agencies to continue in protecting media workers in hazardous situations. In Abuja, Dennis Adegunle, NTA News.
PDP commends leaders for the adoption of President Jonathan as its sole candidate. Jennifer has this and all the stories from the Center of Excellence, Lagos. Hello, Jennifer. Thank God it's Friday.
Yes, Isaac, thank God it's Friday. Good evening and welcome to Lagos. The federal government has assured all intending pilgrims and the general public that all necessary measures and machineries have been put in place to ensure that all terminals across the country are safe, secure and in good condition to effectively handle Hajj operations. The Deputy General Manager, Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, Onyekwere Naikwe, made this known in Lagos against the alleged impending outbreak of epidemic at Hajj Cargo Terminal in Lagos. Viera Chiwuba has more.
The federal government has worked assiduously to contain the spread of Ebola virus disease in the country. Concerted efforts are also being made to continuously educate and enlighten Nigerians on basic hygiene. Therefore, the allegation that the facilities at the Hajj and cargo terminals are in a deplorable condition with imminent outbreak of epidemic is worrisome and capable of sending wrong signals to the international community. It is also capable of instilling fears in the minds of the pilgrims. NTA News, however, found that the terminal met international standard.
There is no case of any epidemic. Nobody has been reported to even have any case of any form of diarrhea or even vomiting.
We know our responsibility to the international health community to ensure that nothing goes from Nigeria there. Preparatory to their taking off, that we inspect everywhere to ensure they are clean.
Deputy General Manager, Corporate Communications, FAN, said the federal government is concerned about the welfare of pilgrims both in Nigeria and abroad.
To assure the international community that all pilgrims leaving Nigeria for this year's Hajj operations met all the requirements for the pilgrimage.
A number of relevant agencies responsible for airlift of pilgrims are working in collaboration with FAN to ensure a hitch-free and seamless Hajj operations. In Lagos, Viera Chumba, NTA News.
Osun State Governor Rauf Aregbesola has commended efforts by the Nigerian Immigration Service at combating impersonation by foreigners who acquire the Nigerian passport illegally. Has more.
Governor Rauf Aregbesola had a 64-page e-passport processed, which was presented to him by the officials of Nigeria Immigration Service a few minutes later. The governor commended the Nigerian Immigration Service for issuing the 64-page e-passport, which he noted will make traveling easier for frequent travelers. The governor also applauded the consideration of minors and the aged and the cost implication for acquisition of the 64-page e-passport.
So with this innovation, one will have a longer period of time to use a passport.
Osun State Comptroller of the Nigeria Immigration Service, Mrs. Stella Nwaduegbo, said the 64-page e-passport contained enhanced security features to prevent cloning and acquisition by fraudulent foreigners. She said the 64-page e-passport is for frequent travelers and costs 20,000 naira, while minors and aged persons over 60 years will pay 8,750 naira.
People come to acquire passports. There are incidences, you cannot trace them to where they reside. That is the reason for this 2,000 naira mandatory charge for courier services.
The 64-page e-passport is expected to complement the existing 32-page e-passport. From Osogbo, Tope Alabi, NTA News.
A mentorship forum for attitudinal change in support of Nigerian Navy operational efficiency has been held in Lagos. It is meant to enhance career and professional development of junior officers and ratings for optimal productivity. Kenny Belige has details.
In line with the ongoing National Transformation Program, the Nigerian Navy has embarked on several development programs to facilitate an effective mentorship program for its personnel. The overall aim of the mentorship program, according to the Flag Officer commanding Western Naval Command, is to improve Nigerian Navy personnel efficiency. It also provides opportunity for personal growth and professional development of its junior officers and ratings.
Our ratings and our officers are better informed so that they begin to do things in the right direction that will take the Navy to the next level.
Rear Admiral Yanga, retired, highlighted the benefit of mentorship, which includes operational efficiency. Mr. Uju Omozlike is optimistic that with the right mindset of the junior officers and ratings, the Nigerian Navy will be better positioned to achieve optimal efficiency.
When we are focusing on mentoring junior ones, the senior ones have to know that the Navy recognizes the manpower development key aspect to transform the Navy.
In organization, if people have the right attitude, it's going to help them to be the best regardless of any circumstance.
The interactive session is one of the many programs by the Nigerian Navy towards encouraging human resource development of its personnel. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
Leadership of Ogun State chapter of the ruling People's Democratic Party has commended their national body's unanimous decision in adopting President Goodluck Jonathan as the sole presidential candidate of the party for the 2015 general elections. Chairman of the party, Adebayo Dayo, gave the commendation while addressing journalists at the Goodluck Jonathan Political Center, Ijebu-Igbo, Ogun State, after welcoming new set of members into the party. Yemi Dalemo has the report.
The decision to adopt President Goodluck as the sole candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the forthcoming general elections, according to the leadership of the Ogun State chapter of the party, was taken in the best interest of the party as a result of good programs and policies of President Jonathan. President Jonathan, according to him, has been able to offer good leadership and provide qualitative dividends of democracy to the people. Hence, the national leadership of the party's decision to adopt the president as the sole presidential flag bearer of the party.
If you have a performing president, why do you have to remove him?
Mr. Dayo, who also disclosed that the party believes wholeheartedly in the rule of law, said there is no imposition of candidates among the 5 aspirants who have obtained their letter of intent to contest the governorship seats in the 2015 governorship election in the state, noting that all of them will go through the primaries. Welcoming the new members who declared their support for the party from Labour Party and the ruling All Progressive Congress APC in the state, Mr. Dayo assured them of equal treatment, noting that their new family does not discriminate between old and new members. Leaders of the defectors attributed their actions to unfavorable policies and misplaced priorities of their former political parties. They were, however, charged to return home and start work immediately with a view of bringing more people into the umbrella party. In Ijebu-Ode, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
And that report ends our contribution from Lagos. Back to you, Isaac, for more on nationwide news.
Thank you, Jennifer. And still on the PDP, the Nasarawa State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has endorsed President Goodluck Jonathan as their presidential candidate for 2015 general election. This was at the PDP North Central Consideration Committee, a visit to the state to discuss issues militating against the progress of the party. Correspondent Abari Solomon completes the report.
The meeting brought together PDP chieftains in the state, notably the former Governor Aliu Akwe-Doma, present and former deputy governors, Minister of Information Mr. Labaran Maku, members of State and National Assembly, party officials and loyalists. The chairman of the party, Chief Yunana Ilia, highlighted the achievements of President Goodluck Jonathan to include the construction of Awe Obi Lafia Road, Lafia Doma Road, Oweto Bridge, Federal Secretariat, Federal University, Central Bank, Federal High Court, among others. He commended the transformation agenda of the president and pledged their unflinching support to the president in 2015 to enable him continue with the laudable project he embarked upon.
The President Goodluck Jonathan has made a man in Nasarawa State more than any other president before him.
This is really the party of choice for the people of Nasarawa State since 1998. Today, we have been able to raise the status of the party. Our colleagues who left in anger have come back. They should now join us to reclaim power so that the party will bring peace to Nasarawa State and development once again.
On the problems confronting the party in the state, Yunana Ilia lamented funding, lack of empowerment and patronage, inadequate attention by the party at the center as the major challenges bedeviling the party. The chairman of the committee, Dr. Bello Harilu Mohammed, said the committee is mandated to look into issues affecting the effectiveness of the party and also to reconcile its members ahead of 2015 polls.
Particularly like to examine the cordial relationship between the leadership of the party as well as the relationship within the rank and file membership of the party. And if there are issues that affect the progress of our party, we will look into them and advise the National Working Committee of our great party on how best to approach these issues and solve them.
He saluted the courage of party members in the state and urged them to lead the party to victory in 2015. In Lafia, Abari Solomon, NTA News.
And not a good one coming in from Ekiti State. The Ekiti State Governor, Kayode Fayemi, has imposed a dusk-to-dawn curfew in the state. The curfew follows recent spate of violence in the state, which allegedly has led to the loss of a life. In the meantime, the state chief judge has ordered the closure of all courts in the state. And prior to the development in Ekiti State, persons suspected to be political thugs have disrupted a court session in Ado-Ekiti. The case involved the governor-elect Ayodele Fayose. Moving on now to other reports. For Nigeria to achieve her aspiration of becoming one of the most developed nations in the world by 2020, there is need to strike a balance between national, intellectual, and human resources. Correspondent Basi Taikbang reports that this was the thrust of discussions at the National Retreat on Ethics, Transparency, and Fraud Prevention Institutions held in Abuja.
And private institutions through credible and ethical conduct of officers, experts say is key to achieving a nation that is devoid of corruption and fraud. The need to address these issues in line with the Transformation Agenda and Vision 2020 necessitated this retreat by Center for Economic and Leadership Transformation.
The problem of this country is that some people are not actually doing what they are supposed to do, and that is why we now bring up this retreat for public and private sectors so that we can chart way forward to entrench the culture of truth, transparency, and credibility.
The Special Advisor to the President on Ethics and Values, Dr. Sarah Jibril, addressed the forum.
We say ethics is simply about good character, but the essence of our sitting today touches on the role and the responsibilities of the various institutions that humanize us, that will teach us about the essence of character.
While some participants insisted that government must be accountable to the people, others were of the opinion that the citizens also have a duty to live up to their civic responsibility.
I expect that our attitude to the public should change. Our manners should change. We should be self-disciplined.
They generally agreed that doing the right thing at the right time by all Nigerians will go a long way to transforming the nation.
North Central Zone pension stakeholders have met in Minna, Niger State, as part of efforts towards addressing 60,000 complaints on the old pension scheme in the country. The sensitization workshop, which is at the instance of Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, is also aimed at bringing to an end the hiccups in the old pension scheme. Fatima Usman tells us about it.
The Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate was established in August 2013 in line with the provision of Section 30, subsection 2A of the 2004 Pension Reform Act as amended, and charged with the responsibility of managing pensions under the defined benefit scheme for pensioners not transiting to the defined contributory scheme. These are pensions of civil servants, the police, the paramilitary, Pension Department, and Board of Trustees of federal establishments. When fully operational, PTAD is expected to alleviate duplication of identity, ghost pensioners, and give the government exact number of verified pensioners eligible to be on the pension payroll, which is presently not certain considering the various agencies handling pension matters. Speaking during the opening ceremony, the Director General PTAD, Nelly May Shak, said the 60,000 complaints discovered by the Directorate are all related to the old pension scheme, adding that they will be verified and treated accordingly.
So we have no access, physical access to the money. We don't see the money, we cannot touch the money.
The Directorate intends to set up offices in all the states across the Federation, while a web page is being put in place to answer questions and as well create a software that help calculate pension benefits. In Minna, Fatima Usman, NTA News.
Bauchi State sensitizes newly appointed district heads just as National Orientation Agency trains youths on selfless service. Let's join Ruth in our Just Network studio for this and other stories. Hello Ruth, it's good to see you on Nationwide.
Hello Isaac, good to see you and welcome to JOS. Nigerian youth have been encouraged to take advantage of opportunities to render selfless service in their communities. Director General, National Orientation Agency, Mr. Mike Omiri, gave the advice in a message to the closing ceremony of a 3-day youth training program at the Citizenship and Leadership Training Center, Sherry Hills, Jos. Correspondent Vinred Lot reports.
The training program had as its theme voluntary service key to nation building, with participants drawn from the 36 states of the Federation. The aim was to train young persons in areas of self-discipline, selfless service, and in the handling of human problems. And strategy, Mr. Bona Tegwe decried a situation where Nigerians refuse to make sacrifices for the nation, except where there are monetary gains.
Great nations are built by citizens that render service.
Coordinator of the program, Mr. Solomon Ado, other directors of the agency, and the state director, Mr. Bulus David, all applauded the participants, noting that for communities to have hope, they must put to use every skill learned.
There are problems, so that you will be there to give hope to someone. Give a skill so that you can give back to society those things that have been given to you.
Some of the participants speak of their experiences.
Help one another. No matter you see somebody is going down, rise that person up.
When you work as a team, where your knowledge stops is where somebody starts. And when you combine the two together, you see that you succeed.
48 participants attended the training session. In Jos, Rinret Lot, NTA News.
Still on NOA's capacity building, the National Orientation Agency has identified effective enlightenment on government policies and programs as a way of achieving the federal government's transformation agenda. Director General of the agency, Mr. Mike Omiri, stated this in a message to Abundant Abbas Mekano reports.
The workshop, which is for heads of programs and planning, research and statistics of the agency, is aimed at improving their knowledge on reporting and documentation. Director General of the agency, Mr. Mike Omeri, represented by the Director of Mass Mobilization, Hajia Tani Umar, said the workshop will enhance the skill of participants on effective reporting writing. He added that the agency will continue sensitizing Nigerians on government policies and programs.
I have constantly emphasized the need to reposition the agency into a knowledge-based, interactive, and activity-driven organization that is well-equipped and motivated to carry out its mandate.
Bauchi State Governor Malam Isa Iguda, represented by the Commissioner for Special Duties, Mohammed Damina, commended the effort of the agency towards peaceful coexistence in the state. Some participants described the workshop as timely and educative.
The reason why we've been brought here is to be further sharpened so that we will sharpen the focus of those who work on the house.
You know, as report writers, you have to plan your reports. And when you go out there, you pick your data. It's not everything you see that you pick.
NOAA participants and mobilizers, we are supposed to have the capacity to drive the message home.
Participants were drawn from the 36 states of the Federation and Abuja. Abbas Mekano, NTA News.
District heads in Bauchi State have been urged to ensure that children from age 0 to 5 in their domains are immunized against poliomyelitis and other childhood killer diseases. Bauchi State Deputy Governor Alhaji Sagir Aminu Saleh stated this at a sensitization workshop for 99 newly appointed district heads. Correspondent Bulak Afsa reports.
Organized by the Bauchi State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, the workshop is aimed at sensitizing new district heads towards ensuring total eradication of polio by 2015. Declaring the workshop open, Bauchi State Deputy Governor Alhaji Sagir Aminu Saleh enjoined them to work with other stakeholders towards eradicating the wild polio virus. Chairman, State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Adamu Ibrahim Gamawa, described the role of traditional institutions in the fight against polio as a very vital one. He charged them to enlighten their subjects on the need to maintain good hygiene practice. Chairman, State Mobilization Committee on Polio Eradication, Emir of this, Alhaji Othman Bilyaminu Othman, advised participants to be proactive in ensuring that the health of their people is given top priority. World Health Organization coordinator in the state, Dr. Adamuningi, said the state has not recorded any case of polio in the last 9 months and called on them to ensure that the state remains like that. In Bauchi, Bulak Afsa, NTA News.
And that's it from Jos. It's back to you, Isaac, for a continuation of the news.
Thank you, Ruth. Nigeria's quest of building a healthy population can only be realized if government comes up with stringent and implementable environmental policies, especially at the local government level. Registrar Environmental Health Officers Registration Council of Nigeria, Augustine Ebisike, made the observation at an event marking the 2014 International Environmental Health Day in Abuja. Meo Gidi reports.
Authorities concerned with evacuation of domestic waste allegedly focused more of their attention in the city centers, while those at the grassroots are left to their own device. It is in order to bridge this widening gap that the 2014 International Environmental Health Day focuses on drawing government attention, as this menace has a great correlation with life-threatening ailments.
The diseases that come from such non-collected wastes, malaria will be high in those areas. Over 70% of the diseases that are leading to hospitalization in Nigeria are preventable diseases. So if we want to wipe out those 70%, we'll need to take another look at what we are doing with the preventable disease and make sure that they are actually prevented. And when we do that, we'll save money for the federal government, we'll save money for the state government, we'll save money for the individuals, and productivity will be high. So our economy will be better off for it.
The health officers are therefore advocating that government at all levels must step up their policies on improved sanitation through the prompt evacuation of waste in their localities. In Abuja, Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
And members of the Society of Emergency Medicine Practitioners are gathered in Abuja to evaluate the state of emergency care in Nigeria, as well as foster collaboration among stakeholders towards an effective emergency medical care in the country. It is at the inaugural launch and scientific conference of the society declared open by the Minister of Health, Professor Onyebuchi. Health correspondent Rabi Abdallah has the report.
In recent times, the country has witnessed a series of acute and traumatic situations ranging from bomb blasts, violent insurgency attacks, air crashes, collapsed buildings, the Ebola virus disease, and other tragic incidents. When these emergencies occur, the victims are rushed to the hospital, needing immediate interventions for survival. These are the healthcare givers who meet such patients at their very deplorable conditions. The maiden conference of the society provided a platform for Nigerians to know more about this field of medicine, the existing challenges and other issues.
Emergency medicine is training people to be able to almost see into the future and look at the patient and say, if you don't do this in the next 10-15 minutes, this patient will die or will get worse. So emergency medicine trains people to recognize these things and then to institute treatment so that patients get better quicker.
Yes. Our emergency departments are supposed to be updated and upgraded. Right now, our emergency departments are nothing to write home about.
We don't really have emergency care practitioners. Maybe just 1% of the number that we need who are capable and trained to do the job. And that's what our society is advocating, that these doctors and nurses who are passionate and doing the job on ground should get the proper training, as well as be given the tools that they need to be able to perform the job that they need to do.
That we identify with the stated objectives of this conference. The ministry will partner with you in various aspects of this endeavor, such as providing trainers and equipment.
The conference under the theme, The State of Emergency Care in Nigeria, The Way Forward, is expected to bring about the needed impetus for emergency care in the country. In Abuja, Rabi Abdallah, NTA News.
This is nationwide on the network service of the NTA. More reports shortly. Stay with us.
Everybody has had it. The farmer in the bush, the worker in the office, the student in the classroom, the woman in the market, the trader in the store have had it. All had a TAN National Rally train for the Northwest Zone has moved to Kano City for Saturday, 27 September 2014. Venue is Kano Polo Ground, Independence Road, Nasarawa Local Government Area, Kano State. And time 10 a.m. Are you from Kano State? Jigawa, Kebbi, Katsina, Sokoto, and Zamfara? TAN National Rally 2014 at Kano is your best chance to say thank you to the man who has revived the dead railways, built many more dams to improve our agriculture, given enhancement to the lives of our children through the Almajiri education, free medical care for our pregnant women and children by Goodluck Jonathan, and good roads all over the place built by Goodluck Jonathan. Let's turn out a mass to say thank you to President Goodluck Jonathan for our job well done and to say we want more. Northwest love Goodluck.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes, and bleeding from the eyes, ears, and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces, or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees, or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Change is never easy. It was not easy for Dr. Martin Luther King when Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew transformed Singapore from third world to first world. It was not easy. They stoned him. It was not easy for Nelson Mandela.
I, Barack Hussein Obama.
It was not easy for Barack Obama. Nothing worthwhile ever is. Dr. Martin Luther King did it. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew did it. Nelson Mandela did it. Barack Obama did it. Goodluck Jonathan is doing it. He is transforming Nigeria. Mr. President, keep doing it. We who are with you are so many more than those who are against you. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
Has ensured the reconstruction of the Abuja-Lokoja Road and the East-West Road in Port Harcourt.
The standard gauge rail tracks from Abuja to Kaduna and Lagos to Kano indicate that our trains are coming back.
The second Niger Bridge in the southeast and the local Oweto Bridge in the north-central are in progress, thanks to Shorepy.
Shorepy's mass transit program has made transportation easier for Nigerians.
Shorepy has rehabilitated over 1,000 health centers across Nigeria.
Shorepy has provided mama kits to pregnant women, and polio is on the verge of eradication.
Shorepy has also ensured the provision of social amenities, and through its various training programs for young people, guarantees a better future.
Shorepy, delivering service with integrity.
Everybody don't hear them. TAN Rally Northwest Zone. Don't laugh for Kano Polo Ground. Independence Road, Nasarawa Government Area, Kano State. For Saturday, September 27, 2014. Everybody, they get Kano, Kebbi, Jigawa, Katsina, Sokoto, and Zamfara State. Make who come out. Now our turn to say thank you to President Goodluck Jonathan for the Northwest Rally. For all the better things where I don't do for us. The train where I don't bring back. The plenty down where they help our farm well. The elementary school for our children. Haba. Our women don't born children free for hospital. Now good luck to them. Our road don't better. Now good luck to them. We like good luck. Anybody will not like good luck. Now bad luck of Olamo. So what the hacker. TAN Northwest Rally. Now the final vasta for all the rallies. Make we follow for national demand for good luck.
This message is brought to you courtesy Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria. TAN for One Vision, Nigeria.
You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Glad to know you stayed with us. Vice President Mohamed Namadi Sambo has asked Nigerians to continue to have faith and support the federal government in its program and policies for a better Nigeria. He was speaking during the special prayers for the 54th anniversary of Nigeria held at the National Mosque, Abuja. Mohammed Hamza Sheikh reports.
In the last 54 years of its independence, Nigeria has recorded numerous successes in its development, both human and infrastructure, though not without some challenges. It is for this reason that special prayers were offered to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and seek for his guidance and protection in the years ahead.
My message to all Nigerians is first and foremost to congratulate us on this journey, and most importantly to continue to live together, to live peacefully, be our brothers' keepers, give all the necessary cooperation to Mr. President, government and the transformation agenda, which is putting this country in the right path and putting us as one of the greatest nations in the world today. I call for peace, unity, progress, and development of Nigeria.
My happiness is that at this moment we are really recording quite a number of success in the fight against violent crimes. And I must thank Nigerians and all the people living in Nigeria for their support. Certainly the fight is not just for the law enforcement and security agencies alone. It requires the collaboration of all stakeholders. And I'm happy this collaboration is strengthening day by day.
Rising to the occasion, the sermon today centered on the need for Nigerians to live in peace, repent from evil deeds, and pray for the progress of the nation.
The khutbah of today is a reflection on our Independence Day. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this, and I call on Nigerians to always remember that Allah in his infinite mercy joined us together to be one nation, with regardless of our different tribes, religious or different appellation. Therefore, we should continue to be together as one.
There were also prayers for the sick, the weak, and the needy during the special prayer session attended by former President Shehu Shagari and service chiefs, among others. In Abuja, Muhammad Hamza Sheikh, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the federal government has declared Monday 6th and Tuesday 7th October 2014 as public holidays to mark the Eid al-Kabir Salah celebration. The Minister of Interior, Comrade Abba Moro, who made the declaration on behalf of the federal government of Nigeria, congratulated the Muslim faithful and urged them to support, cooperate and join hands with President Goodluck Jonathan to build a peaceful and virile nation. Comrade Abba Moro further urged all Nigerians to use the occasion of Salah to pray for peace and unity across the nation. The minister wishes all Nigerians a most rewarding and happy Eid al-Kabir celebrations. And back to the endorsement of President Jonathan for the 2015 presidential election, a group known as the Reformed Emekuku Youths has pledged its support for the return of President Jonathan come 2015. Correspondent Ngozi Ebuchilam reports that the group made a call during a rally at Emekuku where they said he has done a lot to improve the well-being of Nigerian youths.
Speaking at the occasion, the youth leader, Mr. Bennett Onyuku, observed that projects like UWIN, Shopee and others instituted by the federal government have helped in empowering the youth as well as creation of jobs, which has helped to keep the youths of the nation busy and away from crime and other antisocial vices. The group expressed their loyalty and support for President Goodluck Jonathan. They enjoined PDP National Woman Leader Dr. Kema Chikwe, who comes from the area, to pass on their appeal to Mr. President to run for 2015 presidential election.
Reform PDP Youth is the conglomeration of all PDP youths from all chapters, villages, strangers and wards in the people. It also comprises new entrants to the People's Democratic Party of People Extraction.
Dr. Kema Chikwe reacts this way.
The youth have to be focused, have to have plans for themselves. It is the way they package their role, the role they play in any election that gives them the recognition they desire.
Other speakers at the event were full of accolades for Mr. President.
What we have is the transformation agenda by President Jonathan.
The occasion attracted youths and other leaders from the 10 wards of Emekuku in Owerri North of Imo State. From Owerri, Ngozi Buchulam, NTA News.
Makurdi is our last stop nationwide, where Lydia is standing by with news making the rounds from that zone. Hello, Lydia. It's good to see you.
Isaac, and welcome to Makurdi. The 51st Survey Coordination and Advisory Board on Survey Training Conference in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, has ended with a call on government to empower the survey and mapping units of all the security agencies to ensure proactive service delivery and national security. This was contained in a communique issued at the end of the conference. Correspondent Charles Abba reports that the communique was presented by the Surveyor General of the Federation, Professor Peter Chigozie Mwilo.
The four-day survey training conference, which deliberated on the impact of surveying and mapping in national security and other related matters, made various observations and resolutions tailored towards national development. The conference observed that surveying and mapping services and products are critical to mitigating risks and the current security challenges, encouraging infrastructural development and good governance, and fast-tracking the implementation of systematic land tilting and registration. It resolved, among other things, the need to formulate a national mapping policy for the country, embark on pragmatic advocacy with the public to appreciate the importance of geospatial data in security and national development.
The use of new technologies such as Command Area System, UAS, Global Application Satellite System, GNSS, live detection and ranging, LiDAR, etc., should be embraced by surveying and mapping purposes in order to combat terrorism, kidnapping, armed robbery, and mitigate risks caused by natural and artificial disasters.
Some of the surveyors said surveying and mapping play a significant role in the overall activities of the nation. In Makurdi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
In a bid to further strengthen the food security drive of the federal government, the Ministry of Agriculture has organized a 2-day training workshop on cassava bread baking for the Northeast region in Jalingo, the Taraba State capital. Correspondent Suleiman Ibrahim Ahmed reports that the workshop is aimed at creating an alternative for baking to the expensive wheat used.
For training of bread bakers from the northeastern region in Jalingo, Taraba State, the Minister of Agriculture, Akinwumi Adesina, represented by Mr. Yusuf Amos, said the workshop was handy in view of the determination of the Goodluck Jonathan's administration to ensure food security in Nigeria. He said cassava, which is one of the most popular food in the country, could make for affordable and cheap source of bread in the country.
20 master bakers are coming from each of these states. So we want to train them on high quality cassava flour, inclusion into wheat flour.
The minister challenged the people of the zone to embrace cassava as a source of bread baking for the dual benefit of agricultural transformation and food security in the country. The Taraba State Commissioner of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Alhaji Isa Musa, who commended the federal government for the initiative, pledged that the state government will do everything to assist farmers actualize the lofty objective.
The Federal Minister of Agriculture, the State Minister of Agriculture is making great effort to make sure that bread made out of cassava and made in Nigeria.
The Director of Federal Ministry of Agriculture in Taraba State, Samuel Shehu Adaji, said the workshop will help in reducing the importation of wheat into the country and increase cassava farming. In Jalingo, Suleiman Ibrahim Ahmed, NTA News.
That's it from Makurdi. Isaac is back to you for more on Nationwide. Good evening.
Thanks, Lydia. And on the foreign scene, Kenyan authorities closed schools over radicalism in teachings, just as Prime Minister David Cameron says United Kingdom has a duty to fight the terrorist group ISIS. These and more on Global Tidbits with Talatu Ezurike.
Kenya authority has warned religious schools to desist from teaching their students radical ideologies or face sanctions. This follows the detention of some youths in the area suspected to be recruited to join Somali militants. From the United Kingdom, the House of Commons voted on air strikes against RS in Iraq, where Prime Minister David Cameron stressed that joining air strikes against RS in Iraq will be clearly lawful and in the national interest of the UK.
ISIL needs to be destroyed in Syria as well as Iraq.
There are, however, reports that over 30,000 Europeans have joined Islamic fighters in Syria and Iraq. On the Asian continent, Cambodia agrees to take in some of Australia's rejected asylum seekers in exchange for $30 million, a deal criticized by right groups. And China, on nationwide crackdown on companies, uncovered $10 billion worth of fake trade deals among companies to slow down China's economy. That is along Global Tidbits. Talati Ezurike, NTA News.
And sports is next with Kene Emabodike.
Nigeria Football Supporters Club is prepared to give maximum support to the Golden Eaglets when the Emmanuel Amuneke team confront their Gabonese counterpart in the Niger 2015 second leg final round African Under-17 qualifier Saturday at the UJS Winner Stadium, Calabar. Golden Eaglets are faced with a must-win Seville.
Members of the Supporters Club all over Nigeria are readily willing to be part of that game, and then we do everything humanly possible to support them to victory.
The Electoral Committee of the Nigerian Football Federation has released a list of 38 stakeholders seeking to occupy the 15 positions into the Executive Committee of the Nigerian Football Federation. 7 candidates are vying for the NFF presidency. They are Ogunjobi, Abba, Ume, Pinnick, Yofa, Diko, and Uche Bulam. For the first vice president position, there are Inyama, Shehu, Akiwumi, and Mwazo. Some of the presidential aspirants have been speaking on their plans if elected.
Nobody have the experience and nobody know what is happening to Nigerian football more than me.
When I come in, by God's grace, I'm going to apply science. Because if you apply science, you see the result coming.
The NFF election held on Tuesday, September 30th in Warri, Delta State. Meanwhile, all the 7 presidential aspirants are to tell Nigerians what they will be doing if elected into office on September 30. The Sports Writers Association of Nigeria is organizing a debate for all the 7 candidates on Monday, September 29 in Warri.
It's about getting more sponsors, moving our football to the next level. That is what we want to hear.
Stakeholders have been arriving in Warri for the elective congress. With Sports Update, Kene Emabodike, NTA News.
And just before we go, always remember it is your right to challenge anybody suspected to be involved in unwholesome activities around you. Be security conscious. This message is from the Directorate of State Security. And that does it on the news at this hour. Join us for more reports at 6, 7 and Network News at 9. Until then, do have a lovely week. I am Isaac Nkuma. Good evening.